So another preseason game, another win. The Boston Celtics still look good, and I'm here again with Jay King. Jay, talk a little bit about what you saw tonight. What did you see from the Celtics?
They looked good again. I thought they really bounced back after a couple games that weren't their best. Without Isaiah Thomas, they looked pretty good, strong from the start. One key takeaway was Jared Sullinger's game. By far his best game in the preseason. What did you see from him, Tom?
I mean, he looked good. I thought that, rebounding is going to be a big thing for him. He got some offensive ones tonight. He was knocking down some shots. He was getting around the basket. You had an interesting tweet. You said that he looked hesitant, or that he's been looking hesitant this preseason. Expand on that. How has he been looking hesitant to you?
I just thought in some ways where he let it fly last year, he hadn't so far. And then almost as soon as I sent that, it was like he switched it back on, scored 10 straight points, ended up with 16 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Great game. And really a bounce back for him from kind of a disappointing preseason. I'm not sure it means anything about his minutes in the regular season. I think he's still the odd man out in the rotation. But it's another reminder, he is capable. He did average almost a double-double last season. He's still a young guy, still he can still give you big nights. He really did a lot of things well on both sides of the court, especially after he struggled at the start, and then it's just like, bam, was back to being good Sully. One guy who did not struggle at the start was Marcus Smart. He really showed some good point guard skills. What did you think of him?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Last season he struggled with injuries. He struggled, with that ankle injury that just kind of seemed to hamper him for a long time. And he looks healthy now, and I think that might make a big difference this season. Like you said, he looked like a real NBA point guard tonight. He was getting to the rim. He had a couple of really tough layups. He made some really nice passes, just kind of threaded some needles, and he seems to be seeing things kind of the way an NBA point guard should see things. And I think that's going to be big for him, coming into this season. It's, he's got to kind of prove himself as an NBA point guard, I think, to really kind of cement his role with this team. But his teammates have to like what they saw from him tonight. That whole starting unit looked like it played pretty well together. What impressed you about them?
Yeah, I think if I had to guess, I would think that unit with Smart, Bradley, Jay Crowder, David Lee, and Tyler Zeller will be the opening night first unit. They started the first 2 preseason games, started again tonight. And I think David Lee is a big addition because he can make plays, and those guards need them to make plays. And then if Marcus Smart has stepped up as a playmaker like he looked like he has tonight, and he has looked like that throughout most of the preseason, then that's another addition to that starting lineup. That starting lineup really needed to get better at scoring the ball. It was a terrible offensive unit last year. And I think David Lee helps there. I think Smart's improvements will help there. I think A.B. Bradley's improved. I think a lot of those guys have improved. And then it looks like Jay Crowder's going to take Evan Turner's spot. So that means, that's a fierce defensive trio on the perimeter. And then Zeller just does Zeller things. He runs the court. The only 7-footer in the world who routinely shoots floaters. And so he's just like, he's become their Brandon Bass, like Mr. Reliable, Mr. Silent, and just does his thing every night.